I saw an interview on TikTok where a random lady, and I say this in the positive sense, I'll tell you what I mean. A random lady destroyed the entire concept of what Donald Trump wants to do with deportation, immigration, and the border. Now, this is a random lady in the best sense. This is a woman who lives near the border. And she points out, high level conversations, Trump speaking to governors and this and that. This is a woman who has lived there her whole life, and she explains why what Trump wants to do just isn't going to work. Take a listen to this. This is great.
Living here on the border, do you support mass deportations?
No, absolutely not.
What should happen with all these migrants?
They need to figure out something, but this is a long time. I've lived up here since kids used to walk across. There was never a problem until Trump came into office. I'll just leave it at that.
So do you think Trump's going to be the man to fix this
No,
situation?
this is going to make everything worse. We're not going to have anybody get the food. I remember 10 years ago, they were looking for workers to pick strawberries. No white people pick strawberries for any price. No price. No price.
We're going to come back to that, okay?
We're going to be screwed. We're going to be totally screwed. I don't know what's going to happen. We definitely need a redo on it, and all the people that came in this past year that were not from South America, but that had flown in from China and Africa and Turkey and all the other places. I don't know how that all happened, but having a border fence does jack shit. They climb over it and they get hurt.
Right.
If we need more border patrol, we need money. We need border patrol. Where's he going to come up with all that money for the border patrol that's going to do all this? They're not here right now because we're short. There's just not going to be. We're going to be really screwed over. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I've got 30 acres off the grid, and I feel safer that way.
This is just the reality. And there's this thing where some people react as if there are kind of like racist overtones to the migrants are doing jobs Americans won't do. And that's sometimes interpreted as racist in two ways. Some people go, what? Oh, we have to give crap jobs to the migrants? That's racist. The other aspect of it is, oh, you're racist against the white people because you're stereotyping them. Sure, they would go and do these jobs. Whichever perspective you have, there is a reality that a bunch of the national agriculture industry depends on undocumented migrant labor. Now, of course, you could say, if those companies were properly punished for hiring undocumented workers, which is against the law, but so rarely are they punished, then if you set up a system in which native-born Americans were told that these jobs exist, and then, when Ted Conover wrote a book in which he went and worked with undocumented migrants picking oranges in Florida, and then he was doing something else in Arizona, California, the book is worth reading. It's 20, 30 years old. When he did it, it wasn't an issue of racism that sort of explained why there weren't white people doing those jobs. It was mostly a reflection of the way that industry is not actually kept accountable to the law, which is you're not allowed to hire undocumented immigrants, and that a lot of these infrastructures are simply already in place. So it is, in a technical sense, true. If you stop all undocumented immigrant labor in agriculture, over time, if the wages are appropriate and people learn about the jobs and the transportation is figured out, which is not a small thing, yes, there are native-born Americans. They might be white or they might not, but that's what the lady is talking about when she says white people. In some literal sense, you can get those jobs filled, but that's likely to take years. And Trump has no concept of the wholesale economic collapse that would be caused if he, as he said earlier to Kristen Welker, deports every undocumented migrant overnight or immediately, as he claims to do. It would wreak havoc on the American economy. It would wreak havoc on Trump's economy. Now, will he actually be able to do it? I don't think so. But it might be better for him not to do it, not because he's unable, but because he hears from some of these voices down on the border like this woman and realizes, man, this doesn't really make any sense. He has no idea what makes sense. He's repeating talking points that he's agreed on with others, and it would shut down this economy if he were to succeed. I don't think he will, but not for the right reasons. Well, I wrote a book after a long journey and a ton of work. I am really thrilled with how it turned out, and I hope you'll read it. The book is called The Echo Machine, and in a nutshell, it looks at how American politics got so broken, who has already figured out solutions and how we can try to fix it and stop the terror of Trump for the next 4 years. With Trump winning this election, the echo machine couldn't be more relevant, not only a warning about how we got here, but also about what might be coming and how to prevent the worst outcomes. We've got to stay engaged. We need a plan, and that's what the book is about. There's a belief out there that unless you have corporate media behind you, you can't have a successful political book launch, that it's not possible. I think we can prove that wrong. Order The Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, anywhere that books, ebooks, and audiobooks are sold. You can also call any local bookstore and say, please order me The Echo Machine by David Pakman. Wherever you get the book, you'll get the free pre-order perks, including the signed book plate. Head to davidpakman.com/free book stuff after ordering.